It's probably, what, 6 inches longer than the CR500?
Yep.
What's up, everybody? Today on Cars and Cameras, we're starting a brand new build that we've been sitting on for over a year now because it's extremely questionable. We are building an all-wheel drive, gas-electric hybrid dirt bike. The rear wheel is going to be powered by a 20 horsepower Tillotson 225. The front is going to be powered by a 10 horsepower to 15 horsepower hub motor. I'm inspired by certain modern sports cars and their adaptation to fuel economy regulations. The Corvette E-Ray, the second generation Acura NSX, and the Ferrari SF90 Stradale all feature the basic technology that we're using in this build. Rather than going fully electric, these modern marvels use the gas engines we all know and love to drive the rear wheels and pair them with an electric drivetrain to power the front wheels. The electric motors provide each vehicle with all-wheel drive, better fuel mileage, and better poor weather performance, as well as neck-snapping acceleration and monstrous power numbers. However, jamming an entire second powertrain in a vehicle creates a ton of problems as well. Packaging, weight, expense, and fire hazard. So we thought we'd try our hand at it. But instead of having years to develop a modern hybridized Rokon with hundreds of qualified engineers and tens of millions of dollars, you've got 3 dudes with a week in a shed in North Carolina. What could go wrong? Let's get to work. So we finally decided that, yeah, it's a horrible idea, but also, yes, we need to build it for science. So today on Cars and Cameras, we're gonna bend up a chassis, we're gonna get it running on our gasoline engine, and do some before performance testing so we can figure out if all this weight and electronics is going to help or hurt overall performance. This is gonna meet the neck tube, and Charles is pulling apart our donor bike right now.
Don't judge me.
It's all right.
Well, I mean, there was no offense to whoever gave it to us, but I mean, there was already square tubing on the base of it, so I didn't do the first cuts to the frame.
Yeah, it's all right.
But,
thanks, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for the parts. We needed them.
So the frame rails are gonna meet our main tube somewhere around here. It's gonna meet our neck tube there as well. And then the left part of the chassis has to be just a little bit different so it clears our torque converter backing plate there. So and our swing arm is gonna come together right around here and shoot to the back. Got little tweaks to do, but it's coming together already.
All right, so what we have here is a stuck swing arm bushing on the swing arm bolt. I've tried everything from hitting it and holding one side, leaving it in the bike, and trying to break it loose. So we're going to the I'm done talking tool, and we're gonna try some heat. I'm gonna heat up the outside bushing more than the bolt, so that way this expands, that way it frees up the rust, and then we can try and get it out of there. So my little my little propane torch wasn't doing it, so we're gonna try this. There she is. The bottles need to be a minimum of 5 feet from what you're heating up. Fair. I'm not a newbie. This ain't my first rodeo. I don't want to grab it with my vice grips at this point because I've gotten it red hot. So I'm just gonna go get the hammer. Woo! All right, doesn't get stuck. Oh no. Oh well, let that. Oh yeah, I gotta go clean everything. It's so hot now. All right.
How are you gonna get at that last little bit?
With my punch.
Oh, there you go.
But I gotta be very gentle with it because not only are the threads there, but it's got a hole for a cotter pin, so it makes the tip of the bolt extra weak. And what can help you is by finding a punch that's at least the same size as the bolt. So like if you get something that's like right in the center, you might find that channel. I don't know. I've ran into a lot of stuff.
Hey, nicely done.
I was not expecting that. All right, so now I just got a little bit of cleaning up to do on the outside where my vice grip got a hold of it.
And that bolt will be ready to reuse. Back to the chassis, we are ready for our first tack weld. We're gonna have some tight clearance. We're definitely gonna need a heat shield in between the engine and the battery. We're gonna need protection all around the battery. Of course, we're gonna get to that later, but at this point, we're committing to our first weld, so go ahead and hit it, buddy.
Yep. I'm gonna put a healthy one up top just in case we need a little
Manipulate it, perfect.
Yeah. Got it.
It's gonna be a big bike.
Yeah, we measured it out. The center bolt to center bolt, it's probably what, 6 inches longer than the CR500.
Yep.
It's a big bike.
So our rear swing arm is gonna bolt somewhere right around there. Again, huge bike.
This angle right here is the angle you need to look at it. This is the vision right here.
It's gonna be a hill climber if nothing else.
Just check it out from this way. It looks sweet.
It does look very cool.
It's all about perspective.
Yep. So, we've made our clearances very tight. Of course, we have some adjustability with the engine, the battery, but not too much.
Oh.
And now this side of the chassis is going to be even more complicated because we have to incorporate the exhaust and get around our jug averter backing plate. So let's go ahead and assemble a jug averter on here, and we'll begin the other side of the chassis. So now we're going to move on to building this half of the chassis, which is going to be much more difficult considering we're going to have a big old torque converter with a backing plate here. Now you might be wondering, why not use a dirt bike motor if you're building an all-wheel drive electric dirt bike? Well, we figured the clutch and shifting gears is just going to be too much to try to manage, in addition to the train wreck that's going to be 15 horsepower and 50 pounds in front of us. So we need to decide double twist grip, thumb and twist, or if we can integrate it all into one. But we figured a Tillotson 225 20 horsepower motor with a jug averter would be plenty of power and make it as easy to manage as possible. Our sponsor, GoPowersports.com, hooked us up with a 30 Series TAV kit. This is the old reliable. We've been using the 30 Series for years now, and if you have a stock or stock-ish go-kart or mini bike with a clutch, this is going to be a huge acceleration upgrade. We highly recommend them. They bolt on to all kinds of different engines. Like this one has an aftermarket ARC billet side cover. It's going to bolt on no problem with just a little modification to one of the bosses back here that we're going to show you in a minute. We're going to upgrade to the Juggernaut driver. If you have an engine that makes 12 or more horsepower, I'd say stage 2 or up, you're going to want to check out the Juggernaut driver. It basically allows the engine to rev higher. It has higher stall, so you stay in your high RPM engine's power band more. I'm going to link these parts in the video description. Be sure to let Go Power Sports know that Cars and Cameras sent you anytime you place an order with them at checkout. So let's get this thing fitted up and we'll show you what we have. So depending on your engine, you may need to trim this little boss for the torque converter cover off so it can fit flush up against the engine. Our Tillotson 225, for example, has this little heat shield, and rather than modifying the heat shield, we're going to modify the torque converter backing plate, because this is very important in distributing air over the cylinder head to keep the engine cool. So all we need to do is take this to the grinder, chop it off, and it'll fit flush, no problem. Sweet. Done.
Smells just like bologna for some reason.
Bad.
I'm wondering if we got to trim a little bit on maybe a little bit of plastic. I'm not sure. I'll get my light out and see.
Okay. So we've mentioned this tech tip before, but we'll mention it again because it needs reminding. So the torque converter kit comes with these bushings that you need to space, that you need to put on the crankshaft to help space out your driver, and this applies to the Juggernaut or the standard driver, but basically you want the backs of your pulleys to be lined up. If you have one farther in or out than the other, you're going to prematurely ruin your belts and you are going to have poor performance as well. the belt. Also, probably can't tell, but there's a flat side and a beveled side. Sure, on this particular unit. You want to have the flat side on the back, like, of the belt. All right, so I'm working on bending up our second frame rail. We're gonna have an asymmetrical frame. It should be pretty darn cool to clear our torque converter backing plate. A couple things I've learned over the years of using our Rogue Fab bender that's really just helped me with my mentality when bending is that you're not always gonna get the perfect bend, especially not 2 or 3 in a row right the first time. So it's helpful to keep some sacrificial metal around you don't really care about, so you can just practice. Another thing we did, which has really helped with our learning process, was we just took some scrap pieces, we marked the beginning and the ends of our bends, and we bent, and we marked 54 degrees in this case. We marked how much we bent them, and this really helps figure out how long to make each bend and how long in between each bend for doing these kind of compound bends. So this one is going to have to be in 2 pieces because of the way the tubing works. I'll show you here in a minute, but I'm just going to mark this, throw it in the bender. So all we care about is more or less, you're looking at the height, and I'm looking at the forward backwards.
The height of this one and that one.
Yep.
Make sure they're the same. Okay. It looks fine to me.
Cool.
I'm going to tag it in the same spot as the other one. Got it.
That frame is sweet.
And what I've learned, and it took me a little while to learn, is if this piece was like flapping, wanting to fly, start welding on this one and then move the weld to the loose piece.
Yep.
Learn from my mistakes.
So here's what we have for the chassis. In order to complete this second side, we have to find a way to go around the torque converter. We were thinking about using our Crossfire Pro to just turn the outside of the torque converter into the chassis. Could have been very cool, but it's gonna be a lot lighter and just bend up a couple of 90s and connect this tube with this tube here. Yeah, ideally you wanna do it all in one bend, but we're flying by the seat of our pants here and we just don't wanna waste the tubing today. So no big deal, we'll cut up some plugs, put a 90 here, put a 90 here. So we're gonna have an asymmetrical frame. No big deal, it's gonna look awesome. It's one of our prettiest chassis, if you ask me. It is great. So, let's bend up some tubing.
Nice shirt, bro. Are those available?
They are. Cars-Cameras.com. Pick one up, support the channel. Super comfortable. Cool. One down, one to go. Hey man, what are you doing?
Hey man, Cars and Cameras finally did it. We got bumper stickers. Bumper stickers for your car, your truck, your go-kart, your hovercraft, anything that you can put a bumper sticker on, bam, we got it. So get on down to Cars-Cameras.com and get yourself a bumper sticker. Look at that. Oh, it is beautiful.
It turned out really good, man.
Looks great. Look, it's even straight.
All right, so let's check out this mini bike you're talking about.
Oh yeah, let's do it. It's over here.
So between now and April 19th, 2024, we are giving away a brand new Rascal Light mini bike kit and $500 cash. For every $5 you spend on our website, Cars-Cameras.com, is going to get you 1 entry to win the bike. You can read all the terms and conditions on the website, but that's the gist of it. The Rascal Light is our favorite budget mini bike right now. As you can see, it's dirty. We've been really enjoying it. The 98cc is a lot of fun. But hey, if you win the thing and you want more than the 98, you can buy yourself a Tillotson 212 with some upgrades with that $500 cash it comes with. Of course, it's going to be a brand new kit. All you need to do is put it together and add engine oil and gas. You're going to be ready to ride. Don't forget your helmet. We have another brand new hat on the website right now. This is the It'll Be Fine flame hat. If you're like me and you grew up in the Jeff Gordon NASCAR era, you'll I feel like this just reminds me of his DuPont car back in the day. Anyway, it's priced at under 20 bucks on our website. It's a sweet hat. We only made 40 of these or so they're going to be gone quick. Anyway, head on over to cars-cameras.com, pick up some merchandise, support Cars and Cameras, and get entered to win a sweet bike and some cash.
Okay, so yeah, so the bottom, the 90 right there that John's hands are on, that one's pretty much going to stay there. Then the 45 is going right there. So we're going to cut that piece up.
So we got our frame asymmetrical. It's actually kind of cool. It's like our first really asymmetrical frame on purpose.
First time we've done it on purpose. Yeah.
First time we've done it on purpose. And it's looking pretty good. So John cut out some tabs on the lane mirror on this thing. And one of these tabs is going to go on one side. And then we've got to make the other on this side. And we're going to have to make a little bracket or something coming off the frame for this tab right there, because it's like a Bluetooth tab right now.
Cover. How's that going back there?
We have a swing arm.
Oh, whoa, is it? Oh,
it's swinging.
It's swinging. Just careful.
Yeah, so now we need to get the wheel on here and double check our alignment with our sprocket to the engine. Charles is working on an engine plate, and we can get this thing totally welded in, and the back half will be sort of done minus the shock towers. So we got the rear swing arm tacked in with the tire mounted, and now we're gonna kind of roughly work on the front, make sure we have like a totally straight track before we send it all with welding. Now I made a mistake when I was doing these initial bends. I had all the tubes meeting in one place. Well, Ike pointed out that in order for it to be strong, especially considering we're gonna have power from the front, it needs to kind of be spread out across that neck tube, right?
Easy fix.
Really easy fix.
Yeah.
It's looking like a bike. Like a real smushed bike.
Yeah. Can we put bags on it?
Sure, man.
All right.
This is awkward. What am I calling?
The brakes.
Hey, where's the... Oh, crap. I'm gonna lose a finger.
Here, I'll just go first.
Okay. Oh, dear. Not bad.
Hey, it's looking like a bike.
Oh, this is cool. Hey.
All right.
Nice, man. This looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's not done.
It might be a little high in the front. We could probably lower it some by
Yeah.
the fork tube, but then they're gonna hit the handlebars. So
At least we got an inch to.
yeah,
lower it. We have. Yeah.
I say we. What do you say, John? Lower it a little bit.
Lower it. Looking better.
Yeah. That actually. I mean. Look.
Okay.
Oh, so we may have an issue.
What's that? The rear.
The
She might be Carolina squatting like crazy.
because the
It is gonna be squatting like crazy.
sprockets here.
Yes. Yes.
These are gonna have. Oh boy.
Talking about the rear swing
Yeah,
arm
it's
being
like-
so down. Yeah. So it's
Full,
gonna have
this
to
full droop.
It's gonna be squatting
be
like,
more like this.
yeah.
Yeah, the bike's squatting.
So if we rock these handlebars up back, this can go down some.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Cover.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Go ahead and tack
Yeah.
that, and then I'll take it off.
Okay. Cover.
Yep.
So we have 1 out of 2 shock towers welded in. We're just using the existing pivot point on the swing arm. And we custom made some tabs up at the top. We're using the Go Power Sports Red heavy duty shocks. These are a great budget shock option if you need something that's big and heavy duty. You know, like we have a lot of lean angle in this project, so we're gonna need a tough spring rate to compensate for that.
Yeah. As you can see, we're ready to hit the trails. I'm just kidding. I've got all the dirt bike accessories kind of taped up, mocked up, and as you can see, we have gotten the 3D scan gun out and clearly made some progress with some CAD, you know. Got this down here. This is grade A work.
Highly structural.
No, but this kind of gives us a visual representation of like kind of what we want to end up with, being that we had these random parts just kind of laying around, and it's gonna work out roughly. So, and thank goodness we've got a equal sized dirt bike that we can kind of take the plastics off and see what they use to kind of hold these things where they are now.
Right. Our hybrid is actually longer. It's got a lot of wheelbase to it, but it looks very cool. It's got a unique look, and it's funny. I noticed we have a 32-to-1 mix on this thing.
That's funny. Yeah, I think we might leave that.
Yeah.
Just throw them off a little bit.
So we're going to be ready to test this thing on gasoline. We're going to do it without the battery, without the front motor. We're just going to test it with the gas motor right now, so we have something to compare to when we install the electric bits. Yep. But we need to work on getting the seat attached, the rear fender attached, and the fuel tank.
Yeah, because it's just a block of wood right now and some tape. So.
And a hammer.
Perfect. Oh, yeah, can't forget the hammer. So yeah, and we do have 2 side pieces of plastic. It might take some trimming. I don't know if we're gonna use it. Definitely gonna have to notch around the carburetor, but it might fool some people if it looks more like a dirt bike this way. I don't know. So the hybrid dirt bike is ready for its maiden voyage, and I gotta say, it looks quite nice as a dirt bike. The plastics went on very well. Even our reproduction Z50 fuel tank doesn't look half bad. The suspension has just a little squish to it. It's very, very nice. It's a little bit longer than our CR500 and a little bit lighter, pre 80 pounds of batteries and motors. But we're not worried about that right now. We're just looking to take this thing out and enjoy it for what it is right now and do a little bit of acceleration, maybe a little bit of top speed testing, whatever we're comfortable with, so we have metrics to compare to when we swap our 12 horsepower electric motor on the front of this thing. You ready, buddy?
Yeah, man.
Go.
I'm excited to see how it handles.
Oh, me too.
With a pull-in front wheel and all-wheel drive.
Exactly.
It's like a better Rokon.
Oh no. Not bad.
It's not too bad. Virtually no rear brakes though.
Yeah, that's okay. Looks like our chain needs adjustment, but it's gonna work.
I gotta do one more thing. I'm about to lose the rear brakes.
Well, let's try this again. Hey. I think we need a rejet because we put a different muffler on it. Seems decent. Seems decent.
This thing does pretty good.
Good. I mean, it's a stout motor, man. Yeah. All right, let's do some 0 to 60s. So, I've marked out 50 paces so we can test. Just like that, except I need to time it next time. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. All right, 4.47 seconds. Ready, set, go. Your front end seems really soft.
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. It's
cool though.
It is very cool.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks really long.
Yeah, it's gonna have a pretty high top speed.
I'm sure.
Yeah. The takeoff is decent, and I know the top speed is gonna be decent.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Can you just run up and down, you know, just as fast as you feel comfortable?
Yeah. I'm gonna say 45 because of the conditions. Real comfortable. This is a little soft. Yeah,
That's okay. You did 41 miles an hour.
it'll go fast.
Considering how big it is, that's not bad.
I think it'll do 50.
Okay. Can I give it a shot? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's decent. That's not bad. I wish my CR500 rode this good. Oh. Alright. That's ironic. No one has to know. It's a Tillotson. It just stayed running.
Track marks, that thing is actually spinning tires with that engine on it. And she's a little long-legged. We could probably use a slightly bigger sprocket on the rear to give it a little bit more low end and allow the torque converter to work a little bit better with the engine and the RPMs and stuff. John is doing a hot lap with this thing. What you think, buddy?
I just realized we can't restart it.
Yes.
That's okay.
It probably pushes pretty easy.
Yeah, dude, considering this is built from a bunch of used parts and a brand new Juggernaut kit, it's pretty decent.
It's a very decent bike.
Like, the front end is 50 years old. It's floaty.
I don't think it's quite 50 years
it's
old.
like early 70s, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's all the smoke? I hope we're not on fire. Oh, it's the new heat
wrap.
heat wrap.
I see.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, I think we built a well-handling bike. Considering we don't have rear brakes, it's all used parts, and we need to shim our rear axle. You can feel that rear wheel move.
Yeah, you can feel it back and forth, but I have a feeling we're gonna have to order some brakes. So we'll look into that and also look into shimming up that rear wheel assembly. Yeah, getting it right. You look great on that bike. That's a good looking bike.
I think I need a KX500. I think that's what that means.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I did lay this thing down.
Did you?
Yeah.
You popped up pretty fast then.
I sure did.
Yeah. Okay.
I was at the top of the hill like, you know what? It handles better than my CR500. It's a little taller than the 500, to be honest.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But I really like it. We've got some performance benchmarks we know to beat. It handles really nice, so let's add a bunch of weight to the front end.
All right.
You'll see that on the next episode of Cars and Cameras. Leave a thumbs up if you're enjoying the build. Be sure to visit our website, cars-cameras.com. Pick up some merchandise to support the channel. And yeah, if you're running a hot Tillotson or hot Predator or hot Honda Clone engine, look into the Juggernaut kit. It'll really transform how the power goes to your rear wheels. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time.
You know, we didn't drill rosettes yet.
May
but my plug is thick enough to where if you drill, you won't drill through it. So
Very
we're just
true.
going. You just got to make sure we rosette this one. All right, ready?